Hello and welcome. Welcome to the presentation. My name is Jonathan Edgeley. I'm going to be your presenter today. And what is it that we're learning about today? Today we are learning about the Food Not Bombs movement. We're going to cover what the movement is, its history, how it came about, and how it ties into anarchist principles. Of course, it's going to be pretty short. We don't have very much time, but without further ado, let's get started. So first we're going to cover what and who are Food Not Bombs. So Food Not Bombs is a loosely connected group of activists who advocate for a variety of things, but mainly they advocate against military spending and advocate for the right of every individual to eat in today's world. So the concept is that we should be appalled by a government's ability to just casually drop $1 billion on a fancy tank when there are literally people on the streets starving to death. Additionally, they fight for the legal right to give food to the homeless, because surprisingly, that is illegal to do, which is evidenced by the group's numerous court battles and arrests, which we'll definitely go into later. But anyways, the group has been around since the 80s. They formed in Cambridge, Massachusetts. There are many chapters that are scattered across the globe, as evidenced by these pictures right here of two different chapters. As stated a moment ago, the group started in 1980 in Cambridge. Not our Cambridge, mind you, but that town does have a chapter now. It was started by a group of 8 young anti-nuclear activists after one of their friends got arrested during a protest. That friend being the fellow wearing the cool hat in this picture here. So anyways, their friends, in search of money to pay for his legal fees, decided to start a bake sale, during which they saw a poster that said it will be a great day when our schools get the money they need and the Air Force has to hold a bake sale to buy a bomber, or so the story goes. Anyways, they didn't end up making much money, but in doing so they saw an interesting truth, which is people need to eat. So mixing that idea with their previous anti-nuclear inclinations, they came up with the name Food Not Bombs. From that, they started working with local grocery stores in the area to distribute their leftover produce to those who actually needed it. From there, they expanded to San Francisco, where they found a large number of equally minded people, and the movement began to spread further and further away. Now, from the very beginning until modern day, the group has faced trouble with the law. Here you can see one of the founders being detained at a rally in the 80s next to a photo of a group encountering trouble just 2 years ago in San Francisco. So clearly this is a fairly prevalent problem. The authorities have an issue with this feeding of the homeless. And this issue stems from violations of what is called charitable feeding ordinance, which is a general term for municipal specific laws against feeding the homeless. Now it varies from community to community, but this legislation is fairly common throughout North America. Obviously, Food Not Bombs takes issues with these policies and continues their activities. The degree of resistance from both sides varies, once again from location to location, but the common trend is that an activist will get detained, the activist will be brought to court, and then the court will throw the case out, because no one's willing to actually persecute these guys, except for when certain chapters have gotten physical with police. Because most people support the feeding of the homeless generally. To shine this into the course, let's quickly cover the anarchist principles of the movement. Now, once again, this group is very, very loosely structured. There's no hierarchy whatsoever, so things vary a lot from chapter to chapter. However, there are a few core principles that can be found from chapter to chapter. First of those being the lack of hierarchy. It's very disorganized as previously, well, not very disorganized, but there's no power structure in place as previously discussed, which fits fairly well into anarchist principles. Alongside the critique of military power and anti-capitalist ideology, which both go fairly well with anarchist principles, except for anarcho-capitalists. Additionally, the movement really pushes for community and solidarity between the members and those that are being helped. And finally, that is how the Food Not Bombs movement ties together with the anarchist movement.